see if I can see. Y'all know sometimes with Facebook, me and Facebook have this love-hate relationship. How's everybody this evening? Happy Monday. I'm excited about tonight. I am super excited. Let me know who you are. Let me know where you are joining from tonight as well. Because on Facebook, y'all, I can't see yet who is online. It's a little bit different than with IG. So bear with me if I don't call your name. But thank you so much for joining tonight. Welcome to Moments with Mo. We are going to get started in literally like 30 seconds. Because y'all know I try to be on time. I like to respect everyone's time in the evenings. So we'll get started in just a second. Can you hear me okay? Yes? I hope you can hear me. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I just want to say welcome this evening to Moments with Mo. I am Mo, of course, and I am really excited about this particular moment together tonight because we are going to talk about something that I think is really important as we are closing out this year, and also something that many of us are already doing and some of us are just now starting, and that is meditating and practicing the art of just being still. At the end of Moments with Mo, I'm going to share a little bit of details about the challenge, the 10-day challenge that I am facilitating. We kick off tomorrow, so I'm really excited about that. We have a live call tonight. So if you want to join and you ended up not being able to join up until this point, you do still have time. You can you can email me at info at electelevation.com or just DM me here, either one. Okay. So tonight we are talking about meditation and stillness. And I think that this is such an important topic because especially with everything that we have been dealing with COVID and some of us, losing loved ones and losing friends or losing our jobs or having our financial peace disturbed. I think that this is a great time for us to really get serious and incorporate some meditation and some stillness in our lives. And mainly because, we're walking into a new year. And I decided several years ago that I no longer just wanted to drift into a year. I wanted to be very intentional. I wanted to be very focused. I wanted to make sure that the expectations and the intentions that I was setting for the coming year were really thought out and were had clarity around them. And so typically around this time of the year, like many of you, I kind of start thinking about, okay, where are we going next year? And although obviously we see that we have really no control over what actually happens in our world, we have every level of control of what happens to how we handle the things that are happening around us. And I think that meditation and learning how to just be still can help us facilitate through those nooks and crannies of life and having that stillness that we need to be able to bring clarity into our lives and to be able to bring discernment into our lives. So that is why we are talking about it tonight. That is also why I was led to do this challenge, because what better time than now to really focus on this part of our lives, right? So I want to talk a little bit about what stillness is, what meditation is, and they are different. I also want to talk about what it produces in our lives and the benefits of stillness and meditation, because I think it's important to know, why are we doing this? Right now it's really trendy to, do self-care. It's really trendy to do all of these things that we see happening on social media. But if we don't really have a reason as to why, our purpose, our why, then it's easy to get distracted and it's easy to get discouraged when we don't get the results that we think we're supposed to get in those particular activities. So that's why we're going to talk about it tonight, so that we can really just kind of understand, what is it that we're doing and why are we doing this? What is it going to produce in our lives? You all know me. I'm all about value. What kind of value is this going to bring into my life and into your life? Okay. So stillness, we're going to start with stillness, because I think stillness is one of those things that people overlook. We hear a lot about meditation, and there's meditation apps. There's meditation guru information right now that's out on the World Wide Web. But there's very little that talks about stillness, which in my opinion, you kind of want to incorporate both of them, because one without the other just doesn't give you that solid foundation. So stillness is simply the absence of motion, right? When you think about a body of water, either in a glass or a lake or an ocean, when that body of water is still, there is absolutely no motion. It is calm, right? When you think about this piece of paper, if I just hold this piece of paper like this, it's still. There's no motion. So that's all stillness really is. It's just the absence of motion. Now, it's different from meditation because it focuses on controlling the body. Now, let me tell you all, when I first started practicing stillness, it was the most frustrating thing ever, because I'm thinking, if I'm just sitting here, I'm being still. But if I shrug my shoulder or if I scratch my nose, I'm still not being still. So we sometimes kind of forget that stillness is literally like every single part of our body is just being motionless. And it produces the ability to control your body and bring it to a place of no movement. It sounds simple, but sometimes if you are a person that's used to moving and going and just, having motion, this can be a little challenging at first, until you really start to learn how to set yourself down and control your body. Okay. It produces the ability to learn how to do no thing. And I really, really like that, because when you think about doing no thing, I mean, literally nothing for an extended period of time. That is the most daunting task when you are not used to doing no thing. So it helps you to produce that ability to just simply do no thing. Okay. It also prepares the gateway for us to hear from spirit. If you are a believer, which many of us are, it's so important for us to hear from God. But many times we're so used to getting into a prayer state and we're talking, right? We're talking, we're pouring out our heart, which we're supposed to do those things in prayer. But stillness really kind of helps us to set the tone and to set the atmosphere for us to get into alignment and for us to get into a space to be able to hear from spirit. Now, there's some other things that goes into that particular activity, but for the most part, when you think about stillness, it does open that gateway for us to be able to hear from spirit. And when I say spirit, I'm talking about Holy Spirit. I'm talking about God. Many of us have heard, our older generations say, God talks to us in a still small voice, and he does. But if we're not still and we're not quiet, and we haven't learned how to quiet our bodies and quiet our minds and quiet our energy, then we can miss him. And so this is a really great way to start incorporating the practice of stilling our body and stilling ourselves to be able to hear from Holy Spirit. Stillness is actually directly related to the ability to observe more intently and increase your level of discernment. I tease my friends, but I really believe this, that we all have a level of discernment that God gives us. And a lot of times that discernment can be overlooked because everything around us is so loud and so is fighting for our attention and fighting for our time and fighting for our focus. And so when we incorporate stillness into our daily practice, it gives us the opportunity to really be able to scale our level of discernment, because we are intentionally listening, intentionally focused on hearing from God. Our surrounding is quiet, our body is quiet, and we are focused on that moment, that 10 minutes, that 5 minutes, that whatever, and being able to build that discernment muscle. Now, that's stillness, okay? Now, again, it's different from meditation. Now, there are so many different types of meditation. You've got different ways to practice meditation as well. But for the purpose of Moments with Mo and the challenge, we are focused on mindful meditation, okay? So meditation is a mental exercise that involves relaxation, focus, and awareness. Okay. Now, I have not always been a meditator. And most of the reasons I did not meditate in the past is because I really didn't know how to meditate. You know, when you think about scripture and the Bible, there are scriptures throughout the Bible that talks about meditation. But very seldom do we actually get the education on how to meditate. And so meditation just involves being able to relax, focus, and bring awareness. Now, meditation is used to train our attention span and awareness. Because when you think about meditation, really what you're doing is you're focusing on one thing for whatever extended period of time you're focusing on it. So the more you focus on it, the more you're giving attention to it. The more you're focusing on it, the more your awareness about that thing is heightened. And that is what meditation is. That's a tool that it helps to produce. Hey, Ashley. Hey, honey. So that's part of meditation. It's also used to regulate the attention and focus on a single thought or object. So when we think about getting ready for the end of the year and moving beyond into our next chapter, well, we want to get direction and we want to get clarity. And some of us really just want to digress from the year, right? And so meditation is going to help you to regulate that attention and regulate those thoughts, or that one thought, or that clarity that you're seeking. That is what meditation is going to help you do, okay? Meditation produces the ability to control your thoughts and redirect your thoughts. When we think about how many thoughts come into our mind every single day, thousands of thoughts come into our mind every single day. And if we don't take control over those thoughts, and if sometimes we don't redirect our thoughts, our mind is like running amok, really. It's just all over the place. At any given time, this is my true story. At any given time, I could literally have one thought and then it turns into something else that's totally unrelated, and then something that's totally unrelated. And now before I know it, I've thought about like 10 different things in 5 minutes. How in the world did I do that? I have no idea. That's the way our minds work. When we see things, when we hear things, when we experience things, all of those stimuli bring thoughts into our mind. And so when you meditate, you are learning how to control those thoughts that come into your mind, and even many times redirect those thoughts and put a different thought where maybe that negative thought or that counterproductive thought was. So that's what meditation helps us to be able to do. Now, meditation also produces self-awareness because it helps you to get tuned into what you're thinking. It helps you to get tuned into what you're thinking and link it to what you're speaking, right? If I'm saying that I want a certain thing in my life, but nothing that I'm doing is helping to produce that thing, none of my thoughts are helping to support my ability to obtain that thing, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably not going to achieve whatever that goal is. But when you meditate, and let's say you're meditating on a particular thing. Now, I don't necessarily know that I would encourage us to make most of our time on meditating on things, but let's just take that example. You're meditating on a particular thing. Well, as you are meditating on that thing, if you're doing it every single day, 9 times out of 10, it's now in the top of your brain, the top of your mind, right? So you're going to speak differently about that thing. Now, words and how powerful those are is a totally different subject for another night. But when you're meditating on something, 9 times out of 10, your words align with what it is that you are meditating, or just take the word meditating out, the thing that you are giving most attention to, whether it's good or bad. Because we all know that energy is real, and the energy that you put out is the energy you're going to get back. So when you're meditating on something and you're having the ability to hold on to that thought about a particular decision or a particular thing that you want to get, more than likely your words are going to align, and you're going to start speaking life into that thing or that clarity or that thought or expectation that you have from meditation. Okay. Meditation also strengthens your mental muscles by focusing on one thing at a time. This is where the challenge happens. Because remember, a few minutes ago, I said that we get so many thoughts every single day, all the time, right? And when you don't have the ability to focus on one thing at a time, your mind is all over the place. It is literally all over the place. So when you first start meditating, just know that this is probably going to be your biggest challenge, is to control the ability to think about one thing at a time. I don't care what it is. It might be, sometimes I meditate on a scripture. So for however long I'm meditating, it's God shall supply all of my needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. Or, ask and you shall receive, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be opened. And I literally say that over and over and over. Or for quite some time, one of the things that I was focusing on was expressing more self-love. So during my time of meditation, I'm literally holding on to the thought of, I express self-love to myself every day. That is the sentence that I'm saying to myself, and it sounds silly, but I'm saying it to myself because I'm holding on to that thought, because that's where I want elevation. That's the one thing that I'm focused on in my life. And so as I'm meditating on it, I'm holding on to the thought that I'm actually expressing self-love to myself. So whatever your thing is, or whatever it is that you're looking for, when you meditate, you are heightening your ability to focus on that one thing for an extended period of time. Meditation can also help to increase self-control. So you all know that self-control is something that is huge for me, right? And meditating has helped me. I'm not perfect in this yet, but it has helped me to be able to control my decisions and my actions, because as I'm in my space of meditation, whatever time it may be, I am learning how to not be subjected to what my body wants to do or what my thoughts want to do, but I am telling my body and I am telling my thoughts what I am going to focus on. So if my mind says, oh, you should go and XYZ, whatever that is. And in that moment or in that day, I'm meditating on, this is a habit that I want to kick. This is something that I really want to get rid of in my life. I'm meditating on that. I'm thinking about that. My mind is controlled by the thoughts that I am putting into my mind so that I can redirect my behavior. I can be more aware of that thought so that I can redirect my behavior. Whereas if I'm just moving around aimlessly, just doing whatever my flesh says, doing whatever my body says, doing whatever my mind says, I'm probably not being as intentional, and I'm probably not being as focused. And so my behaviors may align with that. So meditation for me has helped me to be able to control, to have more self-control and redirect behaviors that probably don't serve me any good. And I hope any of you who have a experience with meditation, I hope it's the same for you as well. Okay. And then meditation just reduces stress and decreases burnout. Listen, we all have so much to deal with on a daily basis, especially now. If you take 5 minutes to just step away, go to the bathroom, and you just take that time to just get still and meditate for a moment, I promise you that it will bring anxiety levels down. It will bring stress, especially, have you ever had a heated conversation with somebody? And for me, pre-meditation and pre-self-work, I have a conversation with somebody, I'm heated, and boom, the first thing that comes out of my mouth is whatever comes out of my mouth. Either you deal with it or you don't, right? But as we grow and mature and work on self, we start learning how to incorporate better ways to have conversations that may be uncomfortable, that may be counterproductive. And so for me, meditation helps me to just take a couple minutes. Just take a couple of minutes, step away, have my 5 minutes of mantra, whatever it is. I am calm. This will not bother me. They are crazy, but I am not, or whatever, whatever it is. It gives me the opportunity to just take a break, step away, take my mind off of something, redirect my thought to something else, and then come back a better version of myself, just with a few minutes of meditation. And that is what meditation can help us do. It can also help with mental breaks, give us mental breaks, okay? So I saw this quote, and I like it, and I live by it now, and I'm going to share it with you. And it's very simple. It just says, meditation is a tool, and stillness is a result. And I really like that because I never really thought about stillness being a result of something. I always thought about it as a chore, like having to learn how to be still. Like, this is not something that's fun. It's not something that I want to do. It doesn't feel natural, but it actually is a result, because the more I have meditated and the more I have brought that calmness and that stillness to my life, the more the results of being able to be still. I can sit for 10 minutes without doing anything. And when I say anything, y'all, I mean an itch. I mean anything that tries to break the focus, anything. Being still means still. So meditation is a tool. Stillness is a result. Now, the difference between meditation and stillness, because I told you there is a difference, right? Stillness allows you to control mostly the body and observe the thoughts. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Stillness allows you to control mostly your body. When you are practicing stillness, you are controlling your body and observe your thoughts. So as you're sitting and it's quiet and you're still, you're observing what is coming to my mind. What thoughts am I having? Is there a particular thought that continues to repeat itself? Is it a productive thought? Is it maybe not a productive thought? Is it something that I need to eradicate from my mind? And so that's what stillness allows you to do. Observe your thoughts. Control your body. Observe your thoughts. Okay? Meditation allows you to control the mind, and it empowers you to focus on one thing at a time. That is so very disruptive to our normal psyche, our normal mindset, our normal day-to-day rigmarole. Like I said before, we're always going, we're always thinking. Many people don't even get a break. From the time they get up until the time they go to bed, they are thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and never get an opportunity to rest the brain. And even in their sleep, sometimes the mind is still just going, going, going. And so they wake up, they're tired. They wake up, they don't feel rested, right? And so meditation allows you to control the mind and focus on one thought at a time. It sounds simple, but it is a challenge until you get into the practice of doing this consistently. Now, the other thing that I want to say, the difference of the two, is prayer and meditation. Because if you're like me, when I was younger, I would hear, even now, our pastors, our spiritual leaders, our mentors, they talk about prayer. But how often do people really talk about meditating? And what does that mean? How do I meditate? What is meditation going to do for my spiritual life, for my spirit man? So the difference between prayer and meditation is prayer is when we are actually talking to God, right? We're communicating to God. And a lot of times people say, well, when I pray, I don't talk verbally. Well, you should. One, because your words have power. And then two, because we are responsible for asking. We are responsible for communicating. We are responsible for laying our burdens down. The only way you do that truthfully is through verbal expression, right? Yeah, you can hold it all in, but when you speak it, it has power. And so prayer is when we actually talk to God. It's our lifeline. It's our line of communication with God, okay? Now, meditation is when we wait in expectation to hear from God. Very different. Prayer, we're talking to God. We're submitting our requests. We're letting our requests be known. Meditation, we're waiting to hear from God. In expectation, we are waiting to hear from Him. Now, it doesn't always happen every single time you meditate. You may not get the answer. He may not talk to you in that moment, but you are creating that space in your mind, and you're creating that space in your spirit to be able to receive and to be able to hear His voice. And remember, I told you, God talks in a very still, small voice. And so you have to create that space to be able to hear. Now, you may say, well, Monique, I'm not really looking for God to tell me anything. Okay, that's fine. That's great. But meditation also still fosters the ability to be able to focus your attention on something at any given time, or whatever your given time is, for an extended period of time. So there is still benefit in meditation. As a matter of fact, meditation is healing. I've talked to people who have said, I don't take medication. I don't take drugs. My medication is meditation. My medication is meditation. And there is a lot of wisdom in that, because when you can go inside of yourself in meditation and search yourself inwardly, a lot of times the problems that you may have, or that you may be facing, the stress that you may have, you may find the answer through meditation. So keep that in mind, okay? So let's talk a little bit about this challenge that I have coming up. So it's 10 days, and it's very, very simple. Like I said in the beginning of Moments with Mo, It is really for us to just gain some clarity and for us to still and quiet ourselves. So, some of the benefits of this challenge will be to gain a deeper appreciation for the practice of stillness. Okay. Again, we're talking about gearing up for a new season, a new chapter in our lives. Why not go into this new season or this new chapter or this new whatever with more focus and more stillness? And that's what this challenge is going to provide. It's also going to help us to learn how to enhance the ability to focus and quiet our mental chatter. That is what this focus is going to be, to help us to learn how to quiet the noise so we can get some clarity, so we can reset, so that we can recharge ourselves and be ready for 2021. Another benefit is it's going to help us to develop an inner calm in order to productively search ourselves. That inner calm, that inner peace, that inner stillness and quietness is going to help us to be able to search within and find out, what is it that I need to be doing in this next season? What is it that I'm not doing that I need to redirect? Or what is it that I am doing that's working for me? You have to have time to be able to search yourself, turn the TV off, turn the radio off, turn the chatter off, and really be able to go inward. So that's one of the benefits for this challenge. And then it's going to help us to reset our energy. Y'all know I am so passionate about preserving and protecting my energy. And sometimes we have to hit the reset button. I mean, we've endured a lot this year, and some more than others. And so this challenge, the goal and the hope is that this will be an opportunity for us to be able to really just reset our energy and just take a breather and digress. So that's another benefit for this challenge. And then lastly, it's really just a time for us to get still, just to sit still for an extended period of time. I am proposing with the ladies that I am going to be doing this challenge with, we're going to take 10 minutes for the stillness part and 10 minutes for the meditation part. But it's really going to help us to really get still in our bodies and in our minds. So those are some of the benefits for the challenge. If you are interested and you do want to be a part of the challenge, DM me, let me know ASAP, because we are going to have a live call here in about 30 minutes with the ladies that did opt in. And I want to make sure that if you are interested, that you get all of the information that you need. Don't worry, it's not a lot, but it is important information, especially as we are on one accord and doing this together. So I really hope that this information tonight was useful. I really encourage you to incorporate some of this in your own day-to-day quiet time and sacred time. And really just start observing how you feel when you implement these strategies in your life. Journal it, so that you have a starting point and you have something to reflect on and look back on, okay? All right, guys. Well, I hope that you all have a fantastic evening. We have one more Moments with Mo, and I really want to make it very special and fun. So I'm thinking about some ideas, but we have one more Moments with Mo to close out 2020, and it is on to 2021 and beyond. So I hope that you all have a fantastic night. Blessings. I'm sending you love to everyone. I'm sending you good energy and good vibes. And I love you all. Bye.